Welcome to the third episode of the Blue Devil Podcast. I'm here with Mr. Borski, who is the head football coach for Lake Fenton Blue Devils. And then Mr. Lucas Storm. What is your position?
I'm a running back.
Water boy?
Yeah, that.
Okay.
Assistant water boy.
Assistant water boy. Assistant to the water boy.
Yeah, I kind of manage the equipment around here too.
Equipment manager?
Yeah.
Good. So I got these guys on the podcast because season's over now.
Yeah.
Yep.
Sadly.
Yep. How'd it go? Just give me a rundown of the season.
We went 3-6.
Gonna bring that.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm not as
No,
tall
you're
as your
good.
previous guest.
Good.
We went 3-6. Lost a bunch of close games. Disappointing year in terms of the results, but every Friday night, kids battled like crazy, and we just were just short so many times.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you got?
Yeah, I mean, first game, Gaylord, we were up 14-0 at halftime. I ended up selling the bag at halftime. You know, they came back, scored twice. We had a kick return about the 40. We had about 50-something seconds to score. And then we threw a pick on the 15-yard line. Just mental mistakes.
Yeah.
Swartz Creek, that was a bad game. Just got in the red zone, couldn't convert. Had a drop touchdown pass.
How do you remember all this? I don't know what I did yesterday.
Football's different, man. It's staples in your head. I can tell you last year, too.
Wow.
It's
That's
crazy.
crazy.
No, seriously, it's crazy. Football, especially if it's sentimental to you, it means something to you.
Yeah,
Which,
for sure.
I mean, it's a huge thing for me, so it's just stuck in my head.
Yeah, I get it. Before we get too started, I want to apologize for the table because the last couple we did, we were at the Lakeview TV desk, and I was like, well, we can't comfortably fit 3 people at the Lakeview TV desk.
Especially 'cause how wide I am, you know what I mean?
Exactly.
And increase the table budget here at Lake Fenton.
Yeah, so
Miss Van Houten, if you're listening.
yeah, if we could I think we're actually have to get a custom built table.
I agree.
Yeah, it's on a 6-foot table, and then it wasn't tall enough, so I found some boxes over in the corner.
Whatever
propped
works,
up on.
man. Whatever works,
So,
works. You know what I
low
mean?
budget around here, but
Sure.
we're making it work. We'll get there eventually. So just don't lean too hard or anything.
I just
Just be careful
We
with
just
it.
have to do
I
it
got it.
together.
Yeah. Whatever you do on that side, I'll try to even out on this side. Okay, so Mr. Borski, this question's for you. Who's your least favorite player? I'm just
Better
kidding.
answer carefully. You better answer carefully.
Makes it tough. Lucas Torm.
Yeah.
No. There are none. I have no least favorite players.
Good answer.
Thank you.
If you could coach any other sport, what would it be?
We know this one already.
Yeah, I've been asked this question, and I've coached basketball. I've coached baseball, at the varsity level of baseball. It would be wrestling. I'm fascinated by it. The two sports are very similar.
Yeah.
I don't know anything about it. I never wrestled in my life, but I'm fascinated with the discipline.
Okay. And if you could play any other sport, do you play other sports?
I play lacrosse. That's
right.
But I mean, I had to wrestle. It's like what he said. It's fascinating. Watching my buddy Jack. You know, I'm very good friends with Jack. He's pretty good, dude. He's fast. Everything he does is fast. It's quick. He knows what he's doing. It's almost like it's off the top of his head. And it's just it's good for self-defense too. If you're ever out in the world and you're out and you get people on you and you're just trying to beat you up or something. It's good to just know something like that. You know what I mean?
You know what story this is gonna lead me into?
What? You getting beat down?
So last year on
You getting
Lakeview
a fight
TV, your brother Cole and I
remember
wrestled.
this.
So the class convinced me and Cole that Cole never wrestled a day in his life. And so I was like, all right, I'll give it a shot.
I mean,
Lost
you are
big
bigger
time.
than him too. Though.
Lost
You are bigger
big
than him too.
time.
I mean, we don't wrestle. We've never wrestled.
Dude,
It's just I'm friends with Jack and Connor Owens. I mean, Connor Owens is a state champ. Jack is a very good wrestler. I just know I pick up things from what they do to me.
Yeah. Well, your brother Cole flipped me like I was nothing to him.
You could get him now.
It's all leverage.
You could get him now.
Yeah, he's weak now.
Yeah.
Coming off football season, we all are.
Yeah. Oh man, so that was a very humbling moment for me in my high school career.
Did you learn something?
No,
No.
Really?
I'd do it again,
Okay.
but only for the viewers. not because like I enjoyed it. I wasn't like, man, this is fun.
You'll learn something.
Getting slammed to the ground.
You keep doing it, you'll learn something, I swear.
The biggest thing that was on my mind the whole time was the ringworm thing. I was like,
actually, funny story. Last year, I actually asked my mom if I could wrestle, and she told me no because of ringworm.
Yeah.
So I think that's why I never got put into wrestling, was because of ringworm.
I don't think I knew it was a thing before we did that, and somebody told me like, hey, you could get ringworm from this mat, and I'm like,
but they clean them and stuff. They got stuff to clean them. So.
I don't trust any of that.
I mean, Jack still gets it, so
yeah.
So does Connor.
I was real worried, and it's not like I would have even gotten it the right way. I would have gotten it from making myself look like an idiot on Lakeview TV. So let's get into it a little bit more. How long have you been coaching?
I think that was my 32nd year. Started when I was
32nd year.
Yeah, I'm 51. I started when I was 19.
Okay.
Really, baseball is what I really wanted to do, and then this was kind of thrown at me, and started right at the bottom with assistant middle school football, and 32 years later, still getting it done. I guess
made it to the top.
Yeah, not yet. We're working on it.
Have you ever gotten to a point like? Well, okay, let's skip that question because it'll come back around. During a harder season, how do you take some of what you've learned over the years and kind of give it back to the team and kind of encourage them a little bit? Sorry, one more thing. I'm just afraid.
Okay.
Yeah. It's anxiety that something's not going to turn out right.
It doesn't catch anything.
Keep looking over. We're still recording.
I'm muted the whole time.
Yeah, exactly.
Never sounded better. I'm not gonna lie to you. You do go through. You get done with your Friday night games, and then and my wife and kids will attest to this, that I'm not a great person for 24 to 36 hours.
Yeah.
But there's always that next week, and honestly, and you say that, but when we show back up on Sundays, we'll put that to bed and then move on, and we make it more about us and what we need to do to get better. We change the focus, and you let them know you're proud of them, because there are very few times in 32 years I can ever say a team laid down.
Yeah.
Certainly it's happened in spots, but just people don't know what we go through every single day together and all this other stuff. You just reinvest and reaffirm your love for the guys, your love for the game. And it's a whole new week. Let's, put that one to bed and we move on. And I mean, that's the only way to live, to be honest with you.
Yeah, for sure.
At least that I know of.
And how is that from a team perspective, like just letting that go and looking forward and letting go of the past?
In terms of like losing last
week?
Like,
if you had a bad week before, like how
Well, I'll speak for my junior and senior year. So my junior year, I would come back every Sunday. I mean, we were pretty good my junior year, but when we lost week 3 to Brandon, 40-48. See, I remember all this stuff. It was more of like we were all infuriated. We were just like, we wanted to go undefeated so bad, but I mean, that didn't stop us. We were like, we got to play for the person next to you. We got to play for those seniors because it is their last year.
Yeah. And
so we just pushed through and did the best we could. We never wanted to quit.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then my senior year, it was like, I don't know how many more of these I have left. So I gotta try my best every day.
Yeah. Yeah. I've never played football. I did gymnastics back in the day, and when I was a real little kid, and parents took me out of that pretty quickly. And then I did baseball for a little bit, and I got the Iron Man award for getting hit with the ball the most.
Look at that.
But I do remember from my baseball years, I mean, it's hard to take a loss. I mean, you've worked so hard, not only throughout that game, but, to the weeks leading up to it. So,
yeah, but baseball's so much different than football.
Well,
you don't really, when you go to baseball, you don't really like practice like you do for football. Like you could skip a baseball practice and it's like it's nothing big because it's just batting practice, it's just throwing practice. But with football, with football,
just baseball.
Yeah, it's just.
But
baseball.
I mean, with football, you gotta it's new input every single day.
Yeah.
You watch film on these guys, you gotta know what they do. You gotta know your job.
Yeah.
And if you miss a day, you miss out on valuable stuff. So
yeah,
True.
I guess that kind of leads me into the importance of all the back end work that goes into it. Kind of walk me through what that looks like, what you go in, like what you do throughout the week to prepare.
Me first? Okay. Well, it starts, it's a process. You start, you get your game done on Friday. You have film exchange with your next opponent. Typically happens late Friday night. By, 2-3 o'clock in the morning, I've already watched our film and just had a preview of the next opponent because curiosity.
Yeah.
And then Sunday is coaches meetings. We're there about noon. We go home about 7:30. So it's a full day. So we'll have our coaches meetings, put our plans together, talk personnel, practice, for the week. And then, we have it broken down Monday or Sundays. We make that about us, putting the previous week to bed and getting what needs to be fixed, hopefully as quickly as possible. Monday's a little taste of the game plan, conditioning, check the bodies. And then Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday are implementing the game plan.
Yeah.
And you try to break it down because you can't reinvent the wheel in 3 days.
Yeah, exactly.
So you try to make minor adjustments and make us better. And then of course you got to have one eye on the opponent. And,
yeah.
Just as much mental as it is physical, maybe more.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's what wears you down so much during football. Even when I played, it was more just, my gosh, there's always something, So we do prepare very well, I think.
Yeah. What are some of the things you look for in that game film?
Our opponents,
Mm-hmm.
Obviously their scheme. What are they trying to do? Their personnel. It's a lot about matchups.
Yeah.
Do we see a matchup we can win, and how do we make the X's and O's work to get that kid isolated on another kid?
What about find the turd?
We play a game called Find the Turd, and try to throw at him often or run it at him often.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's family-friendly terms, but that's exactly what we try to do.
Yeah.
Matchup schemes, what can we take advantage of? Where are they better than we are in certain things? And, do we have to take from one area to add to that area to cover up for that? So, and it's an ongoing process. You get all the way through it, and then somebody gets hurt.
Yeah.
And all that work you just put in, it's like, uh-oh.
Yeah.
Next guy's got to get in there and do it. So it's a process.
So through some of your better seasons or better moments throughout the season, I'm sure there's a sense of humility that might go out the window. How do you manage that? I mean, I think it's important to look for confidence in what you're doing, but is there a place where you draw that line between cocky and
absolutely
humble? Yeah.
Often I think I do a pretty decent job, and if I don't, the rest of the coaches do, of reading the tea leaves. Are we starting to drink our own Kool-Aid? Are we starting to feel a little better about ourselves than we should?
Mm-hmm.
So we'll emphasize some things that we need to work on in film. We're so good, but I'm going to show you 10 clips that show you, no, we're not there yet.
Yeah.
Or conversely, take our Goodrich game. We lose 14-7. Maybe one of the greatest efforts I've ever seen put on by a team that I've been lucky enough to coach. And we had to go through that and show them and show it like this. Oh my gosh, look at what all these great things we just did. Look at if we'd have just done this just a little bit better. Right. So you kind of have to play to the psyche of the team. Yeah. It's never hard for us to knock them off their high horse. Yeah. That's the easiest part. Building them back up is the toughest part, in my opinion.
Yeah. Thoughts on that?
No, I agree with that. I just feel like once we this year especially, once we kind of got down, went the scoreboard, we kind of just duck our heads. Yeah. And I mean, I tried everything. I mean, all the seniors would try everything. I think some of the juniors would just try to build people up, but I mean, some people are just like, it's over. Yeah. Like as soon as we started losing, I was just like, whatever, guys. Like, is
it hard to maintain that same level of momentum when you are when you're seeing that you're on the wrong path? I don't know if that's a good way to put it, but
yeah, honestly. But I mean, for most people, I wouldn't say necessarily for me, because most people don't even understand how much you can do in a football game with 30 seconds. If you're down 2 scores, crazy things can happen. I'm serious. You could Hail Mary, onside kick, run it back, and there you go. Now it's tie game.
Yeah.
It can happen all so fast. So for me, it's not really that hard. Because I know 2 minutes in football is a lot of time, especially if you got 3 timeouts.
Yeah.
And coach, if you know what he's doing, and we got one. So
yeah, cool.
Sometimes.
What is one of the hardest things you endure as a coach in this sport?
There are things that frustrate you. Negativity outside of our, we talk about building a bubble around us and not letting that negativity in, but not so much for me, but I know it weighs on these kids sometimes. But that's not the hardest part is saying goodbye to seniors.
Yeah.
Every year.
Yeah.
You get 4 years, and let's face it, they're freshmen. I'll just say this secretly: nobody likes freshmen. Right? We tolerate freshmen. I didn't like me when I was a freshman.
Yeah.
So a lot of these guys we don't know, but for 3 years maybe.
Yeah.
And then I'm not kidding. We have some of the most raw, emotional sessions together. Probably they say things and do things with us that maybe they don't even feel comfortable with their own parents doing.
Yeah.
Because it is caveman like. It's all your emotions come out.
Yeah.
In certain instances. And to share all of that with a young man for 2, 3, even, some of them even just 1.
Yeah.
And then to say, well, I wish you well. I love you. That's tough.
Yeah.
It's tough.
What are your summer plans heading in the future? Where do you go from here?
I don't know. So this summer, I kind of picked up a job doing sales. We're just door-to-door sales, selling pesticides. I'm doing it with a guy named Gavin Valentine.
Okay.
He's made decent money from what he's shown me and what he's told me, and so it's just basically door to door in a neighborhood.
Yeah.
Ask people like, yo, like he sent me this intro actually, and I think I still remember it. So you knock on the door and he's like, hey, you the owner here? Guy's like, yeah, and he goes, good. I take care of your neighbors around here, the deals, the Borskis. They've been seeing some of those cobwebs, some of these ants, and I'm sure you know how the wasps get, right? He's like, yeah. So you got to answer these. Like, I'm sure you know how the wasps get, right?
Yeah.
So the only reason I'm in the area today is because my trucks are here. And if you hop on your neighbor's schedule, it is super cheap. And they ask you.
I don't know if you should be sharing this company.
It's just the
It's
inside.
like a secret
The
formula.
same guy was trying to sell me cable the other day.
I'm not that guy.
Can I be honest with you? I hate people like that.
I know.
No, I'm going to get a shirt that says solicitors are beasts or something like that. Just so when I walk up to people's house, I know.
That'll help, for sure.
Yeah, that'll do it.
But, dude, I got that intro.
He
down.
will be successful in sales, whether it's pesticides or, sand in the desert. I mean, this kid will be I'll buy something from him that I never should.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
hit me
I
up
hope so.
first.
I got you. I'll be coming down
He'll
here.
be knocking at your door next week.
Yeah.
Probably.
Have you ever gotten to a moment in coaching where you look over and you're like, man, I just wish I could go coach the cheerleading team?
Every time he sees me.
Yes, no, that's fair. No, heck no, man. I want to be in the mix.
Yeah.
I want people to call me an idiot. I want that energy is for those that haven't experienced a Friday night. You're running out, the band is playing, the cheerleaders are cheering.
Yeah.
The other team wants, literally they want to fight. If that doesn't get your heart going, if that doesn't put every emotion known to mankind in you, I feel sorry for you. So no, I've never wanted to do anything else.
Here's a question for you guys. Did you see me with the cheerleaders at the last home game?
No.
Good.
Listen, man. What's in between the whites is just all you're focused on
Good.
when you're in between the
Good.
whites.
I was just making sure. I was like, man, I hope the football team doesn't see this.
Yeah.
No, there's got to be video out there somewhere.
Oh.
Feel free to edit that.
Yeah, I got a couple
cut
videos
here,
sent to me.
add that in real quick.
Yeah, I do got to see that.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sure you can find it
That'd be
somewhere.
funny.
No, but he's not kidding. You wouldn't know. I never once looked into the stands Friday.
I don't even
our
think.
new Lothrop
Seriously,
game.
if there was like something that happened, like something tragic that happened in the stadium,
Yeah.
like something loud, I
No idea.
You block out everything. Sometimes I don't even hear the band or the people out there.
Yeah.
And I'm so serious. Like, you're just so dialed in. It's crazy sometimes. I'll never feel something like that ever again, though.
Wow.
It's different.
Mm-hmm. So
Friday nights are different, man.
What's now that football season's kind of over? What do you guys do now? Like,
I think about next football season.
Yeah.
No, I mean there's a lot of stuff to do, obviously, to wrap up the season, collect equipment. And by the way, we're collecting equipment Wednesday. A lot of stuff to do there, but I'm such a terrible husband, father, and friend during football season.
Yeah.
And thankfully they cut me a lot of slack.
Yeah.
But there's a lawn to mow. There's garage to clean.
You got a son?
A million things. Yeah. Uh-huh. But you try to catch up and do some things around the house. But my eye is already on finishing this up. And how are we gonna not do this again next year?
Yeah.
Yeah, but football takes up a lot of time.
All of it.
And especially if you're a head coach, you got to be there.
I dream about it. I had dreams about football last night. True story.
Yeah.
It's just it's like a mental illness sometimes. I just can't get it out of my head.
What about you? Are you kind of at the point where it's hitting you that you're done, or are you going to football in college, or what's the plan?
I'm not sure yet. It's a big commitment, man. And I know in the real world, it's money, dude.
Yeah.
Like you're out here fighting for money.
Mm-hmm.
You're not going to. I'm not going to play NFL.
Yeah.
We all know this.
Yeah.
I'm not going to the NFL. Newsflash. So it's either I'm coming down to the point where it's like, let's have fun in college. Play some football.
Yeah.
And do what I do. But there's part of me where it's just like I just kind of want to make some money. I just want to put my head down and grind.
Yeah.
Because that's at the end of the day, there's like that's what matters. You got to make some money.
Yeah.
Provide for your family and provide for whatever.
Exactly.
So.
Man. All right. Well, let's see what else I got. I think that's about it. You guys have anything else that feel like sharing to the world, our millions of viewers?
I know you got something. I know.
Lucas always has some snarky comment to make.
Follow my Instagram.
There it is. There it is.
Yeah. No, you must be 18 to follow his Instagram. No, it's PG-13. But I want to say this is a cool deal, and we'll talk about you real quick and all the things we miss you. We had these games on YouTube and all these other things, so professionally done, and we miss you around here. Like this is cool.
Yeah,
I wish there was more of this.
I've been telling Brigitte, I was like, let's start a podcast. I was like, we have these mics, and this is exactly what I've been wanting to do. I've been asking Brigitte forever.
So this is something that Van Houten and I were talking about for a while, because I chose to not stay here employed, and I chose to leave and go pursue other options. This is my way to stay connected, because there's still so much love and passion for this district that I wanted to be able to still stay connected with everything that's happening. So
are you gonna? What is this gonna be, like a monthly thing, a weekly thing?
Well, so I'm kind of mad you brought that up, because it was going to be an every other week thing, and then I missed last week because my
life. You, dude, you're thriving. Dude, wow.
I've been so busy that it's really hard for me to not to cut out an afternoon to come in here.
Well, no, I get it too.
And knock this out.
You're full time.
That's good
filming
news,
for what's that guy's name? Joey Spencer, right?
No. So that's something that BT Media does. So we've got BT Media, and then I'm full time at the Rock Church running all their production over there. Yeah, no, life is crazy. I can't keep up with it.
You're out here making money, dude. That's all that matters.
I'm looking for an executive producer if anybody is.
I'll be co-host of these podcasts.
Yeah.
He doesn't want to work. He just wants to talk.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. That is.
Yeah, I mean
that's
they're
my
fun.
Profession, spot on.
I'm not a big podcast guy. I don't listen to podcasts, but I really enjoy doing them.
Oh, me too. Trust me, go home and watch Joe Rogan.
Okay, yeah.
He's actually very funny on podcasts. He's fun to watch.
You can be on there one day.
And Nelk. I hope to be. If you're watching this, Joe Rogan.
Here he is. Totally. But he's not going to the NFL, so don't get your hopes up there.
I could if you help me, though. Get me on that cycle.
Legally.
All right, guys. Well, thanks for joining us. Stay tuned. I can't promise that it's going to be the following week that something's going to go out, but something will be out coming soon following this one. So
well, thank you for having us.
Yeah.
This is awesome.
Yeah.
Yep. Peace out, guys. Appreciate it.
Thanks, buddy.
Thanks, guys.